Thank you guys for your stay at the Horror Spaces, the Center for Horror. Today we are going to continue a trend that I saw on the internet, and it's called one terrifying scene that where I talk about a scene that terrified me. Pretty simple. I've thought about this video for a while now, and some of the scenes that immediately popped into my head were the Samara walking through the TV scene in The Ring, the levitation scene in The Exorcist, as well as the holding the wrong child in the original Japanese version of Dark Water. All these are good examples, but they just didn't make me as scared or give me such a genuine reaction as this scene that I'm going to talk about today. Oh, and I'm not sure if this is how it usually is done, but this is how I'm going to do it. I will give you some context. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to break down the entirety of the film, which is Talk to Me, directed by the Filippo brothers, or as I knew them back in the day, called Raka Raka. The first of now a couple successful YouTubers to switch over to the Hollywood horror genre, and in my opinion, my favorite, as they also made the masterpiece Bring Her Back, that maybe one day I'll talk about. Anyways, let's get to it. Some prior context before we get to the scene. If you have not seen Talk to Me, this video has spoilers, and I recommend you watch it before you see this video, as it's so good and it's so scary and it's so original. Totally worth the watch. Talk to Me is about a grieving teenager who has just lost her mom and gets the opportunity to speak to her in the afterlife with the help of an embalmed hand and her best friend's little brother's body as a vessel. Obviously, things do not go very well, and all is not what it seems, as the spirit is obviously not her mother, but an evil spirit that has taken over the body of her best friend's little brother. This is where the scene in question comes around when Mia, the main girl, once again uses the emballed hand, comes in contact with the dead little girl spirit, who apparently knows where Riley's soul, the little brother, is at. Mia asks if the little girl could take her to him, and well, she obliges. Here we see the nod to society as we catch a glimpse of Riley's soul being tossed around by old naked people. Did I mention I hate old people? Riley is really in my own personal hell. It's hard to explain how uncomfortable the scene makes me, but trust me, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. The directors do a great job with the editing in this scene, as we can't really make out what's going on in the scene, yet we have more than enough visuals to know that whatever is going on here is very, very brutal, harrowing, and downright disgusting. This thing gives me physical reaction every time I see it. I heard the directors had to cut the scene from its longer version, and I have never been happy. I can't imagine sitting through this scene for more than literally 30 seconds. There are so many layers to this scene as we find out to what extent that Mia has doomed Riley. Up to this point, we as an audience think that the issue with Riley is a physical one, where the demon just wants to kill himself, therefore killing Riley. And Riley's soul has just been pushed to the back to be an audience in his own body. Something like Get Out, the sunken place. Don't get me wrong, it's bad, but when this scene hits and you realize that he is not just a backseat passenger to his own body, but is actually suffering throughout the entirety of this movie, the stakes become much more grander and dramatic. I felt so much worse for Riley after seeing the scene. We see how high the stakes are, and to be frank, I don't think Riley will ever be the same. The first time I watched this scene was the first time I had a guttural reaction to a horror movie in a long, long time. Did I mention that I hate naked old people? I love how out of nowhere this scene comes from. The movie is really solemn and melancholic throughout its runtime, but this is the only point in the movie that hits you like a brick with its brutality and gusto. It's so in your face in sort of a metal way. I love it and I respect it a lot. This movie deals with grief a lot, and I don't think any other scene plays with the ramifications of grief than this scene, as it's a manifestation of the consequences towards never dealing with your grief and how it can not just affect yourself but others. Because of Mia's inability to move on with her mother's death, reasonably so, like I understand, she has not only dragged herself to the depths that are incredibly hard to get out of, but has taken Riley along with her. He is just a victim to all this, and it's hard to see to what extent he's truly suffering. He does not deserve this, and only happens because of the peer pressure, which is another theme this movie plays with very, very well. We all want to fit in and take a drink of alcohol or take a hit of the dart, but something so innocuous could easily be a slippery slope to rock bottom. This movie is a great metaphor for drugs and how fast one could end up in bedrock when not even a month ago they were successful law-abiding citizens. So yeah, that's my one terrifying scene from Talk to Me. I hope y'all enjoy your time at the horror spaces, and see you guys next time.